Hi everyone, myself Dr. P. Soumya, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In this session, I'm going to discuss about the definitions and terminology of natural resources. First definition is define natural resource. So what is a natural resource? Natural resource, these are resources which are available in nature. Natural resources which available in nature. Natural resources nothing but, so the resources which are available in nature are called as natural resources. So we have many examples of natural resources like air, water, sunlight, soil, and also minerals, forest, wildlife. So these all are naturally occurring resources. Naturally occurring resources. So these are also called as natural resources. So examples of natural resources are air, water, sunlight, soil, minerals, and wildlife and forest. So these all are examples of natural resources. So, what are the types of natural resources? We have two types of natural resources. So, two types of natural resources. So, first one is renewable resources. Renewable natural resource. Second one is non-renewable natural resource. Non-renewable natural resource. So natural resource, it is nothing but which resource available in nature is called as natural resource, and these are two types. First one is renewable resource, second one is non-renewable resource. So third question is, what are renewable natural resources? What are renewable natural resources? So the energy resource which can be used to produce again and again are known as renewable energy resources. So the energy resource which can be used to produce again and again means this can be regenerated again and again in a short time. The natural resource which can be regenerated again and again in a short duration time is called as renewable renewable natural resource. So renewable resources are those resources that continue to exist despite being consumed or can replenish themselves over a period of time, even as they are used. So these are renewable resources are these are these are continue to exist despite being consumed. So even though the renewable resources are consumed at a greater extent, so renewable resources are replenished. These can regenerate themselves again and again in a short period of time. So here they include sun, solar energy, wind energy, and water, that is hydrothermal energy, geothermal energy, and biomass energy. So examples of renewable natural resources are solar, sun, wind, water, geothermal, and biomass energy. So these all are natural renewable resources. So if we take solar energy, so it is as the solar energy consumed, it produced again and again. So this type of resources are called as renewable natural resources. So like solar energy, wind energy, water, and geothermal, biomass energy also, so they will produce again and again. So these are called as renewable natural resources. Next question is, what are exhaustible natural resources? What are exhaustible natural resources? Exhaustible natural resources are those resources which are present in limited quantities. So here these are the resources which can be present in limited quantities and can be completely used up by human activities. So the resources which are present in limited quantities and which can be completely used by human activities are called as exhaustible natural resources. So exhaustible natural resource, it is a resource that is available in limited quantity and it is completely used. And exhaustible resources can be replaceable or irreplaceable. So two types of exhaustible resources are there. So one replaceable resources, exhaustible resources, and irreplaceable exhaustible resources are there. So a replaceable natural resource, this can be replenished, this can be regenerated. So the replaceable natural resources, this can be regenerated again. Most wildlife example of this replaceable natural exhaustible natural resource is wildlife resource. So like most wildlife, these are replaceable even though they are exhaustible resources, so they will replaceable after some time. So here an irreplaceable natural resource, it is gone once it is used. So example of this irreplaceable natural resources are fossil fuels. So these are example of irreplaceable natural resources, and these are most minerals are replaceable, irreplaceable. Like minerals, we have many minerals like calcium, iron, and copper, like that. So these are fossil fuels, and these are minerals. And all the fossil fuels like coal and petroleum, they are irreplaceable natural resources. So these are exhaustible natural resources. Exhaustible natural resources are resources which are present in limited quantity. So this can be completely used by human activities after certain time. So these are exhaustible natural resources. So here example of natural exhaustible resources are oil, petroleum. So coal is also one of the example of exhaustible natural resource. This is a fossil fuel. Both the oil and coal are fossil fuels of fossil fuels, and also natural gas also fossil fuel, and nuclear energy. This is also exhaustible natural resource. So next question is what are non-renewable natural resources? Non-renewable natural resources, these are the type of resources which once depleted cannot be replenished in a short duration. So here the natural renewable energy, non-renewable energy sources are the type of resources which can be depleted, cannot be replenished in a short duration. So it will take millions of years. So for the production of non-renewable natural resources, it will take millions of years. So we cannot regenerate the non-renewable resources in a short period of time, in short duration. It cannot be used again and again. It cannot be used and it cannot be produced again and again because it is in limited quantity. It is in limited quantity. One day it will be exhausted. So one day it will be exhausted. This non-renewable natural resources, after some duration, after some millions of years, so one day it will be exhausted because of usage of by human activities. So resources whose natural replenishment rates are slower than their rates of exploitation. So here the resources whose natural replenishment rates are slower than the rate of exploitation. So these are considered as non-renewable. So here the natural resources which whose natural replenishment, it is very slower. It is replenishment, it is slower than rate of exploitation, rate of usage, rate of exploitation. So because of this reason, these resources have become non-renewable. So resources whose Natural replenishment rates are slower than rate of exploitation. These are considered to be non-renewable resources. So examples of non-renewable resources are minerals. These are ore deposits. So these are minerals or ores, and coal, oil, gas. These are produced by geologic processes. So and these are finite and cannot be replenished on human timescales. So these are examples of non-renewable resources are ores like ores. Ores are minerals, and coal, oil, and fossil fuels like coal, oil, natural gas. These are produced by geological processes, and thus these are finite, these are limited, and this cannot be replenished in human timescales. So this is about non-renewable natural resources. Examples of non-renewable energy resources are nuclear energy, natural gas, and also coal and petroleum. So these all are examples of non-renewable natural resources. Define surface water. So definition of surface water is fresh water on the earth land surface. So this is fresh water on the earth's land surface. So it is found in lakes, rivers, streams and wetlands. So definition of surface water means this is the surface of earth, surface of earth. So here the fresh water which are present on the surface of earth. The fresh water on the earth, land surface are called as surface water. Example of surface water are lake water, river water, streams water, and wetlands. The water which is present in wetland. So these all are examples of surface water. So surface water means fresh water on the earth's land surface. Examples rivers, lakes, streams, and wetlands. So and next definition is what is defined water logging. Defined water logging. The soil whose surface layers are saturated with water is called as waterlogged soil. The soil, the land whose surface layers are saturated with water, they cannot absorb the more water. So here, so that is means this is undergoing saturation with water. The soil whose surface layers are saturated with water is called as waterlogged soil. The soil layers, the soil whose layers are saturated with water and they cannot absorb any extra amount of water is called as waterlogged soil. So the phenomenon of rising of water table is known as waterlogging. So here the phenomenon of rising of water table is known as waterlogging. So here waterlogged soil means the soil whose surface layers are saturated with water, and this is called waterlogged soil. That phenomenon is called as waterlogging. Phenomenon of rising of water table is known as waterlogging. So next definition is define mineral. Define mineral. A mineral, it is a naturally occurring inorganic solid with a defined crystal structure and chemical composition. So mineral, it is nothing but ore, in ore of any metal. So here mineral means it is a naturally occurring inorganic solid. It is a naturally occurring inorganic solid, and it is defined with a defined crystal structure, with a definite crystal structure and chemical composition. Each mineral have it different definite crystal structure as well as chemical composition. So naturally occurring means it is not produced artificially. We cannot produce artificially. So we cannot produce minerals artificially. So inorganic means that does not contain any carbon. So inorganic means that is not organic, means organic compounds means carbon containing compounds. Inorganic means non-organic compounds like the compound which does not contain carbon from a living source. From a living source is called as inorganic. So definition of mineral is it is a naturally occurring inorganic solid with a defined crystal structure and as well as chemical composition. So each mineral it will have definite crystal structure and definite chemical composition. We have different ores, so with different minerals in our earth crust. So like iron ores, so hematite like hematite. So these are examples of minerals. And next definition is define soil erosion. So soil erosion, it is the movement of soil components, mainly topsoil, from one place to another by water, wind, human activities. So we have many activities like rainwater, wind energy, and human activities. So here in these activities, the movement of soil components, mainly topsoil. So here from one place to another place is called as soil erosion. So in this soil erosion means soil erosion, it is nothing but movement of topsoil, movement of movement of movement of topsoil. Soil erosion means movement of topsoil by different activities like wind, rain, and also human activities. So soil erosion, it is the movement of soil components and mainly topsoil from one place to another place by various activities like rainwater, wind energy, and human activities. Is called as soil erosion. So this image clearly shows the soil erosion. So by the water, rainwater. So next definition is what is sheet erosion? What is sheet erosion? Sheet erosion, it is a removal of soil in thin layers by raindrop impact and shallow surface flow. So sheet erosion, it is the removal of soil in thin layers. Look, so here removal of soil in thin layers by raindrop impact and shallow surface flow. So here, sheet erosion, it is nothing but it is a remove. It is also soil erosion. So here, removal of soil, it is taking place in thin layers by raindrop impact and shallow surface flow. So by two impacts like raindrop impact and shallow surface flow. So here sheet erosion is occurring. So here sheet erosion means removal of soil in thin layers. Removal of soil in thin layers. So here in this sheet erosion, removal of soil in thin layers, it is taking place by rain drop and impact. So this action of also called as skimming and it is prevalent in the agricultural land. So this action also called as a skimming process and it is prevalent in agriculture land. It results in loss of the finest solid particles. So sheet erosion, it results the loss of solid particles that contain most available nutrients. So which are very important. So here it results sheet erosion. It results it is a loss of finest solid particles finest solid particles so which contain finest solid particles that contain most of the available nutrients and organic matter in the soil. So means nutrient soil is this is loss the loss of nutrient soil is taking place by sheet erosion. So sheet erosion means it is the removal of thin layers of soil by raindrop so impact. So in this case, it results the loss of finest solid particles that contain most important most available nutrients and organic matter in the soil. So this type of soil erosion, it is mainly responsible for loss of soil productivities. So this sheet erosion, it is responsible for loss of soil productivities. Loss of soil productivities. So soil productivities decreases because of the sheet erosion. So this is takes place by the raindrop impact. So sheet erosion, it is nothing but it is a removal of, it is also one type of soil erosion in this also. So here top soil of the land is lost. So it means it is a removal of thin layer of soil takes place by raindrop. In fact, it results the loss of mainly very it it results in the loss of finest solid particles which contain nutrients. So good nutrients which are useful for the uh, but which useful for the plants like trees. And this is the this type of soil erosion. It is mainly responsible for loss of soil productivities. Next erosion is defined rill erosion. So this is also soil erosion. So this is one type of soil erosion. In this sheet erosion, so thin layers of top soil is removed by the raindrop impact. In case of rill erosion, in this it is generally sheet flow. In general, the sheet flow is carried out by very small definable channels called intervale. Interrill. So in general, sheet flow. So these sheets are taking place means thin layers of soil is lost by raindrop. So these are carried out by very small definable channels are called as, so these are small channels. So these are called as interrills. These are called as interrills. So when the process of soil erosion and deposition through interrill is prolonged, if the process of this soil erosion is prolonged, so the interrills are widened and these are leading to the formation of small channels. These are called as rills. So these interreels, first interreels formed. So by that, if the process is prolonged, it is prolonged means it's the interreels are become. So this become reels means these are widened and these are leading to the formation of small channels called as reels. So this erosion is called as rill erosion. Small channels of interrills, these are becoming rills like so these are widened and these are becoming. So this is type of erosion. Soil erosion is called as rill erosion. So in this, so interrillers are formed. So by the sheet erosion, so sheet flow it is carried out, and by very small definable channels. These channels are called as interrills. If the process is prolonged, the interrills are become rills. So means these are widened and these are leading to the formation of small channels called rills. So this type of erosion is called as rill erosion. Next definition is define flood. So flood, it is the state of high water level along a river channel. Flood is a state of high water level along which river channel or on the coast that leads to the inundation of land and which is not usually submerged. So here flood is a state of high water level along a river channel or on the coast. So here state of higher water level along the river channel or on the coast that leads to the inundation of land and which is not usually submerged is called as flood. So floods can form where there is no stream. Floods can be found where there is no stream, and as for example, when abnormally heavy precipitation falls on flat terrain at such a rate that soil cannot absorb the water or the water cannot run off as fast as it falls. So this type of floods can take place where there is no stream. So for example, so when abnormally heavy precipitation, heavy rain falls and flood terrains at the such a rate that the soil cannot absorb the water. So or the water cannot run off as fast as it is called, because it is here there is no stream. So that type of place, in that type places only the floods will take place. So flood is means it is a stage of high water level along a river or on the coastline. So it's called as flood. What is land subsidence? What is land subsidence? So land subsidence means deformation of land surface due to compaction, consolidation or collapse of subsurface. Deformation of land surface, it is due to compaction, consolidation or collapse of subsurface. So in this land subsidence, it is nothing but deformation of land. Deformation of land is known as land subsidence. It is deformation of land surface. It is due to compaction, consolidation, or collapses of the subsurface, or collapses of the subsurface. So groundwater overdraft, it is principal cause for this land subsidence. Groundwater overdraft, it is a principal cause. 43% of original water supply from groundwater. So here the land subsidence, it is nothing but deformation of land surface. So but due to compaction of land, consolidation and also collapse of the subsurface. So next definition is, what is landslide? The movement of rocks or debris, etc. So landslide means the movement of rocks or debris, etc. on a slope downwards is called as landslide. The movement of rocks and debris, so these are slope downwards. These are on the slope downwards is called as landslide. Movement of rocks and debris on a slope. So this is a downward direction. It is called as a landslide. It is a type of mass wasting which refers to the movement of any mass, soil, rocks under the influence of gravity. So it is one of the natural hazards. It can be a disaster if you damages occur in large amount. So landslide, it is a type of mass wasting which refers to the movement of any mass wasting. So which refers to the movement of any mass or any soil, rocks under the influence of gravity. Because of slide, because of slope, the movement of rocks and debris takes place in downward direction. So this is leads to the mass wasting. So which is referring so to the movement of any mass, any soil or any rock under the influence of gravity. So it is one of the natural hazards, and this can be disaster if the damages occur in large amounts. So this is about what what is landslide. Landslide means a movement of rocks or debris on a slope downward direction is called as landslide. So in this mass wastage is taking place because of movement of any mass of soil or rock under the influence of gravity. So this is a natural hazard. So it can be disaster, natural disaster. It can damages any other property of environment. So this is a landslide. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.